Hey boos, in this video, I give commentary based on my opinion. Nothing is to be taken as factual. We are just here to have conversation. We don't expose and we don't sip tea on this channel. I'm giving you real talk straight, no chaser. Let's see if you can handle it.
Cause I'm a boss. I haven't done anything for you to be proud of.
Of course you have. You are marrying a man who can support you.
Hello, good evening. Well, I'm sorry. This is not evening time. I'm sorry. Good afternoon. Listen, I'm busy. I'm so busy. That's why I haven't been uploading like that. So I do apologize. I am trying to go live twice today because I've been MIA, and I wanted to do this first because I have the time, and then I wanted to come back and do the reaction to the gym crush because that is highly requested and I've been putting it off. But this really grabbed my attention, so I made an executive decision to do this first. So I have a meeting that I have to be to at 2:45. So I think I'll have enough time. My best friend is in the chat. Please give her some love in the chat, y'all. She's been supporting me for so long. She's more of a sister than anything. So show her some love. Alexis is in the chat. Okay, so let's get into this topic because honestly, this topic is a really good topic to talk about because this woman, she's going viral for saying that she's not attracted to her husband, but because of all of the other qualities that are not physical, she ended up falling in love with this man. Now, of course, the men were calling out the women. And it was so crazy because men started trolling women back, and so they started uploading videos saying the same exact thing that she said in her video. And then it got to a point where the men were getting dragged and the women were mad at them and was going in on them. But then if you went to other women's posts that had a similar take or opinion regarding their significant other, they were being praised by women and things like that. So let's really talk about it. So let me show you the video because this is a great discussion in my opinion, because we live in an era where lust and chemistry is not creating successful relationships. Lust and chemistry is not creating supportive, loving, healthy relationships. So is this what is missing from the dating scene? Is this what is missing from us creating successful relationships in a generation that tends to focus more on lust and chemistry, social status, thanks to social media, appearances, perceptions, and things like that? That's why I was like, let's really talk about it. I'm so excited. Hold on, let me see. That's the wrong one. That's the wrong screen. Hold on. Oh, wait. I got y'all on the screen. Is this the one? Oh, here it is. Okay, let me pull it up because I was like, oh, let's really talk about it. Yes, we're going to get into compatibility as well because also compatibility is more than just lust, chemistry, physical attraction. Compatibility could be lifestyles. It could be your outlook on life. Like maybe you share a similar outlook on life. It could also be love languages. It could be spirits, belief systems. It could also be personalities. I mean, there's more to being compatible with someone beyond just the physical appearance and chemistry, because chemistry can fade, lust can fade, but these things always remain. So this just brings up a really, really great conversation. So let's go with the video, how this all started.
Wait. Okay, so I've been seeing this a lot with Clarence and Queen, but it's genuinely true. Like, you cannot date your type. If you are constantly dating your type and it ain't working out, girl, check them DMs. Look at his picture. If it's like, that's the one. I'm telling you, baby. When I met my boyfriend, who's my husband now, he'd even tell you, baby, it took me a little minute to, you know what I'm saying? You know, it took me about 2 days to start liking him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being for real. About 2 days, okay? Because I was so used to like talking to light-skinned boys or just talking to boys who were more worried about their self, right? I done met a roughneck country bumpkin nigga who would do everything for me, and I almost passed him up because he was dark-skinned. A little rough. Oh, y'all, when I tell you I would have been out here working 3 jobs, I'm telling you right now. Them niggas that care about themselves, they're gonna have you out here working 3 jobs just to fulfill what they need and their purpose in life. Baby, my man ain't never told me to go get no job. When he came to see me and he told my mom, he said, no, I want to take her so I can take care of her. I got this. My daddy handed me over so freely because he said, oh, okay. Because his actions had already shown who he was. I'm telling y'all, this man learned I was a vegetarian then. When he met me, this man learned my everything that I like to eat. I got out of practice one day, out of basketball practice. I was so tired, so hungry. I went to go see him while he pulled out my favorite. I'm telling you, if he wanted to, he would. That's why I be looking at people like, girl, my man Ben showed me who he was in 2011. I ain't never letting go. I ain't never letting go. This is us. When I tell you I'm never letting go of that nigga, because he ain't never letting me go. And when you got somebody that ain't never letting you go because you ain't never letting them go, baby, get out of here. I'm just saying, for real though, like, y'all please stop dating like that. Like, it's kind of like a fairy tale. Seriously. Why are you dating somebody that is like as beautiful as you are? Let that nigga be obsessed with you. I'm just saying, I'm sorry, whatever. But I ain't even gonna lie, girl, after them 2 days, that 48 hours, baby, he had me so whipped, dipped, my doggone nose was so wide open. I had just knew I loved that man and he loved me too. I ain't even lying, we fell in love so quick, like so fast. And when I tell you he's so fine to me, like I will lick. My husband is so fine to me. I'm telling you. Okay, wait.
Now, I know a lot of y'all are irritated at the fact that she's loud. If you watch majority of her content, that's her personality, okay? So it may not mesh well with you. It doesn't mean that you don't really like her. Maybe it's just y'all are not compatible in the sense of how you would want people to conduct themselves, okay? So let's just get that out of the way. Did she lie though? She ended up falling for her husband. She ended up becoming attracted to her husband through other ways. Now, the men are saying, oh, it's because of what he does for her. So she became attracted to him because he pays bills. Basically, what he can do for her is the reason why she is now attracted to him. Okay. All right. So just wanted to throw that out there. Let's get back to some more content.
Okay, so I've been seeing it.
Because a lot of men were upset at the fact that she mentioned his skin complexion, saying that that was pretty colorist for her to say that as well. And she responded,
I heard you hoes was looking for me. Here I go. First things first, if you don't know anything about clickbait, I'm not about to waste my time and tell you, okay? I see a whole bunch of y'all jumping down my throat because this light-skinned bitch over here talking about some dark skin. Hold up. I grew up in the 90s when them damn light-skinned men was just being pushed on us real bad. That's how I grew up. And it's a lot of y'all that grew up the same way, honey. I ain't never dated no dark skin or darker, basically darker than me. Right? So you can call that colorist all you want to, but when she turned 18, she met a real nigga. Okay? dark-skinned, ass-ass nigga from football practice. I don't give a damn. I'ma still stand on. He was dark as fuck. I put a little face care routine on him. Put a little sunscreen on that ass. Lotioned him up. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And now that's what you see now. A beautiful, glowing chocolate man. Also, ugly. Y'all are, whoa. I never said my husband was ugly. I can't, first of all, I was telling y'all to check y'all DMs. I don't gotta check.
She said, and that this is very important. She said that she did not find her husband to be attractive. So again, like that kind of comes down to it doesn't mean that he's not ugly, but maybe that's just not her type. So she didn't say the man was ugly. She just said that she wasn't attracted to him. And I think that's huge because people are getting triggered and they're hearing from their emotions or their insecurities. They're not actually listening to what she actually said. She did not say that her husband was ugly. Everyone keeps saying they are going on her page, looking at her husband and looking at the videos that she posts of her husband. They're like, he's not ugly. And it just goes to show you that we really live in a world where people make everything about if you're ugly or not. Not about if a person just didn't find you physically attractive upon meeting you for the first time. And it could be because maybe you're just not their type. Like maybe they're used to going for people that are a little bit taller or shorter or on the more slim side or maybe on the more thicker side. Like sometimes it's not that you ugly. Sometimes it's just like you just don't fit their ideal type. It does not mean that you're ugly though. Like I don't know where people were getting that from.
My DMs, baby, I'm already in a damn marriage. Baby, he rolled up on me on campus. We ain't no damn social media. I was telling you hoes to check your DM because you always look at the damn DMs and you don't respond. Tell me I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm fine, bitch. And you know I ain't got no way. But no, on some real shit, this is my motherfucking personality. And when I say y'all reaching to the Lord, and I hope that's who you reaching to because y'all need him, okay? If y'all think that I am not attracted to my husband who I literally married, we've been together since 2011. The way that I smooshed that doggone video together, like when I say the man was broke, he paid for me some food, that showed that he cared about me. I was just happy because this man went and bought me a $5 foot long. And y'all thinking he had money. He don't got money. Baby, his Honda, his two-tone Honda broke down the street of the school. His homeboys wouldn't even go get it with him. Who went? Me, baby. I've been about that man. You understand me? So when y'all sit up here saying 2025, oh, she color, oh, she just with him because he got money. Baby, I was with the brokest nigga ever. We used to go to Taco Bell. You know the motherfucking burritos with the chips in it, the little red chips, baby. We would get two and split them. Thank you. We've been there, done that. I'm not sitting up here finna like. So as far as me giving the fuck about whatever else y'all gotta say, color is cool. Y'all can stand on that. Because I know that I have matured since 18, baby. I'm not even the same person I was 2 years ago, let alone 14. I'm 31. I had 3 of his kids. And he watched all my videos and he thinks they're so funny. That's why I'm so happy to be with a secure man. A man that knows who he is and knows who his wife literally is. I'm literally, I don't even feel like doing this. Literally, I don't even feel like doing this. I just feel like letting y'all just post, comment, post, whatever y'all want to post. Because at this point, like, I genuinely don't even care no more. My people, my black people, and if y'all knew me, y'all would never call me colorist. Because y'all don't even know my life. You don't even know what I do. You don't know what I do for my black people. You don't know nothing about me. And that's what's so funny. That's why I genuinely don't want to do this. Because y'all don't know me. Anyways, you know that ass don't shake like a bird chirping, boo, okay? Don't give a fuck, we don't give a fuck.
All right. Well, she doesn't care. Do I think she's a colorist? No, I think she was referring to her mindset at that time in her life, which was when she was extremely young. So she met her husband when she was young, which means she was young-minded. And I think that's huge too. She was 18, around that age. So think back to how you were thinking around that age when you were 18. I cringe. I mean, I could just go to my Facebook page and look at how my mindset was. It was embarrassing. I was just so concerned about things that truly just did not matter. So I'm not going to hold that against her. I don't think it makes a big deal. I see where she was coming from, but then again, I'm not triggered by what she's saying because, again, she's making a point here. Now, this is where the men started to get upset, and we're going to get into why they were getting upset by her video, but most importantly, by the women's responses in the comment section is what really had men triggered.
So a woman on here made a video talking about how she found her husband unattractive, and the reason that she picked him was because he had some provider qualities that other men don't have. See what I'm saying? And so I did the exact content. I call my wife ugly, which I don't have a wife. I call her unattractive, and obviously the same shit. And I said that she cook and clean, whatever, cool. While I do nothing. I go check her comment section. Her comment section, all of the women talking about, girl, this, girl, that. Oh my God, I did the same thing, this, that. Cool. I did the same content. The women under my comment section crying and bitching and threatening me, talking about, oh, well, she should have just given me something to eat and it's all passed away or some shit like that. And this is what I think about you bitches, and especially the old bitches. See what I'm saying? It's cool treating men bad. It's cool saying shit like that about men. But when we do to you, it's an issue. And I'm calling y'all bitches because a lot of y'all are bitches. It's cool when y'all mistreat men. But it's a problem when we do to you. Yeah, all right. So a woman on here, man.
Well, someone's upset. I'm not going to take it offensively because he's not talking to me. Okay, let's continue because it don't stop there, y'all. Then this man just decided to troll completely.
Oh, some of you ain't know, I've been married for the past 5 years, and I'll be honest, I was not attracted to my wife when I first met her. She was not my speed. She's like the complete opposite of who I normally go after, but I just decided to give her a chance. Like I said, once again, she was not my type. She was not that attractive to me. But there was just something about her. I met her, we talked for a couple days, we hung out. She seemed very supportive, so I'm like, why not? I mean, you're not my type, but I'm gonna give you a chance because I normally go for this type. And then after a while, she just grew on me. Her looks grew on me in about the 48, 72 hour mark in the sense of, I think I can do this. What I'm trying to get at is just because you're not attracted to someone does not mean you don't give them a chance. Now, some of you are infuriated with me right now talking about why do I need to embarrass my wife like that? Why do I need to talk about her looks when I can just talk about the positives and not embarrass her on the internet? So why are you mad at me trying to hold me accountable for the words that I'm saying, but you're not in her comment section talking about, girl, you wouldn't need to embarrass that man on the internet like that? Okay.
Now, does he have a point? I can't take the other man serious because of the language he decided to use. But does this man right here have a point?
But some of you ain't know, I just decided to give her.
Because I was in the coffee shop yesterday and I happened to overhear a conversation that was being had between two other women. And she was looking at the bookshelf because in this coffee shop there was a bookshelf, and she was pointing towards a book. And she was talking about how this book taught her the difference between men and women and how we think. And she goes on to say, she was telling her friend that the author said that men desire respect more than they desire love, and women desire love. And so I thought about that and I was like, so when it comes to this conversation, regardless of whatever side of the spectrum that you fall on when it comes to this conversation, or whatever perspective you have in your mind when it comes to this conversation, when a woman does it and it's about how she's not attracted to a man, the reason why the men are offended or they're upset is because the lack of respect that she has for her husband. Because if you're bringing it to the internet, how you feel is valid because they are your feelings. But sometimes your feelings don't always need to be outwardly expressed publicly to everyone on the internet, because that comes across as disrespectful. So then when men do it, because we've also seen men do it. I was trying to find there was a video of a man that was on a podcast with his wife, and y'all know, y'all seen them podcasts with the wives, and it went viral like a few weeks ago. I cannot find it for the life of me, but this man openly expresses how he was not attracted to his wife, and this was said on their shared podcast. And in the comment section, there were a bunch of women in the comments that were dragging the husband and was trying to encourage the wife to leave. And the number one thing that they said was, he doesn't love you. He does not love you. You need to leave him. And to be honest, when I looked at this video, I didn't see anything wrong with what he said, because when he expressed what he fell in love with her, how he fell in love with her, like initially when he met her, he was not all that attracted to her physically. Like basically she did not fit his type. But when he described how he fell in love with her, I was like, oh wow, like he's really in love with her. So he went into detail about how he loved her personality, he loved her mindset, he loved how she has this optimism about life, how she chooses to take on life. She's very upbeat. She's a very positive person. He also loved the fact that she had an undenying faith about herself and her belief system. He also liked the fact that he was really attracted to how she carried herself. Like he was just so attracted to how she carried herself as a woman. And so even though at first he was not attracted to her, he ended up really falling for her, because there was a level of compatibility with chemistry. And so that's kind of what drew him in. But then there were all of these other things that he loved about her, and that's how he ended up marrying her. Do you not understand? There were like nothing but women in the comment section that were dragging the husband. And honestly, this was the first time I've ever seen this on social media, where the man isn't saying, I love you because you endured and you suffered. This was different. He was saying, okay, I don't really see you as my physical type, but all of these other things, I am so in love with you, and I may not have been physically attracted to you in the beginning, but you really grew on me. And that's how he ended up marrying her. So this whole conversation was a little bit different. Normally when we see like a man say, oh, I wasn't all that attracted to my wife, but she stood by me when I cheated on her. She stood by me when I dogged her out. She stood by me while she suffered. It wasn't like that this time. Like, he just was not all that attracted to her physically. She simply didn't fit his normal type, and he ended up falling for her. So my question is this, because women can see it the other way around. You see it the other way around when it's a man that you're not all that attracted to, but you start to look at his other qualities and you start to find attraction through his other qualities. What's wrong with the man doing the same? Because that's what they're really upset about. Now, I think another reason the men are upset is because how can this woman outwardly express herself in this way and be somewhat, in their mind, disrespectful to their husband publicly, but when it's the other way around, it's acceptable. So they're mad at the fact that women find this to be acceptable. And look, this is crazy to me, y'all. I gotta be honest with you. Like, some things just don't need to be said. I'm really big on that. So then you had all of these other women that started to chime in.
I still stand by the fact that my husband is the ugliest man that I have ever met 5 years into our marriage. If you are single right now, it's because you want to be attracted to your partner, and that is just not realistic. I don't know how many. I still stand by the fact that my husband is the ugliest man that I have ever met 5 years into our marriage. If you are single right now, it's because you want to be attracted to your partner, and that is just not realistic. I don't know how many times women on this app are going to have to say it. Find an ugly ass man and marry him. And I'm not talking about a guy that just needs a little brush up, okay? I'm talking about a terminally unattractive man. I sleep with an eye mask at night so that I have time in the morning to mentally prepare before I make eye contact with my husband. But here I am, married, and you're not. So, who's laughing?
Oh, girl. Ooh, girl. Girl, this is crazy, ain't it? Ooh, girl. Ooh, I didn't know she said all that towards the end. Ooh, it's bringing the nastiness out, isn't it? On both sides. I did not know she said that towards the end. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ooh.
The creator that's getting dragged on here for not being attracted to her husband when they first met. Same, me too. Seriously, I totally get where you're coming from, and I'll just tell you how we met real quick. Basically, I had been out of prison for like a year, and I saw him, like I met him through some mutual friends, and like I was like, okay, he's like kind of cute, but he was like, I'm tall and he's tall, but he's like really tall, and he was like super skinny at the time, and awkward, and just super like not a whole lot of social skills.
Y'all heard her. Y'all heard her correctly. She said prison. She said she got out of prison. Okay? Like, hey, that's what she said.
He's also a country boy. Grew up farming, tractors, all that. He could like fix anything. But yeah, he's just really awkward and strange. And I was like this is never gonna work. Like, also he was a corrections officer at the time, like, which is really weird because I had already been out of prison for like a year. So yeah, basically we're just like complete opposites, and I don't know, it took about like 9 months for us to actually like date after we had like seen each other like in groups, groups of friends a couple times, and then finally I was like, okay, like I'll give it a shot, I guess. And when I like did, he like didn't even know I existed. Like I was nowhere on his radar. He was completely like oblivious that I was even like thinking about anything like that, right? So yeah, I get it. Like I just wasn't like, he was awkward. I don't know how else to explain it. And I was like this, I don't know, coming out of prison, I was just coming from the streets to prison and then coming home and
I love it here. Don't you love it here? This conversation has really brought out the role reversal, hasn't it? This is crazy, right? This is crazy. Isn't it crazy? Wow, this is interesting.
And meeting him like a year later, I was like, no, this is just definitely not gonna work. But it did, and we've been together for almost 8 years now, and it's been great. And the biggest thing that we have that I appreciate the most is our stability. We've never gone without a roof over our head, and for that, like, we're always truly grateful as a family. So anyway, I'm happy for you, sis.
Well, let's continue. Let me see. This woman, she came out, let's see. Is it right here? Oh, wait, let's circle back to sis. I want to make this known, too, before I get into the next slide. I also believe that when we talk about this, right, because we have to include men who have self-hatred issues, especially in the Black community, so they project their self-hatred. And then we also have to include the men that are simply insecure, and they project their insecurities on women, right? So let's put them aside. I'm going to put them aside when I say this. I believe that this is possible. I believe that you can grow into being more attracted to a person. I believe that there has to be potential. Like, the potential is there, right? It's just not upfront. It's not immediate. It's not like lust. It's not like sexual chemistry. It's just not there yet. But if everything else is aligned, like first of all, your wants and your desires are similar. You're in alignment, meaning you are, wait, it's still choppy? Is it still choppy? Are we good? Wait a minute, are we good? Okay, so people are saying come in and come back out. Okay, so damn, I lost my train of thought. Okay, so I was saying, so you have similar desires, similar wants. You're in alignment as far as it makes sense. Both of you are in similar places in your lives, and then also similar interests, a compatible belief system. The emotional support is there. Love language matches. Outlook on life matches. Education, I feel like you have, and when I say education, I'm not necessarily saying you need a degree, but I mean intellectually you're a match. And then also treatment. I believe the treatment is very important. Now, when I said I put aside the men that are insecure and the men that struggle with self-hatred issues, the reason why you have to separate them and put them in their own category is because they tend to treat you horrible. And I believe that for me to truly believe in this, that a man may not find you to be attractive up front, but the way he treats you will determine whether or not that this whole, oh, I wasn't attracted to you at first, but you grew on me. I believe that it at this point, it wouldn't matter because of how he treats you. But see, we've seen a lot of issues when it comes to this conversation as women, that men didn't find you all that attractive. You were the woman that he chose because he couldn't get the other woman. And so he treats you bad while also saying these things. And I think that is what is truly the underlying factor here for me when it comes to this conversation. Because as a woman that gets lusted after a lot, where I'm not really seen for my personality, I'm not really seen for my spirit, I'm not really seen for my aura, my energy, or even my intellect, this is why I have the thought process that I have, because your looks will fade. And if your whole relationship is just built off of if he found you to be attractive the first time he met you, or if the sexual tension was just there the first time he met you, your relationship is going to be very temporary. It's just going to be temporary. And then he doesn't really like you for real, because he likes you based off of your looks and the sexual chemistry. But he doesn't care about your personality. He doesn't care about your belief system. He doesn't care about your intellect. He doesn't care about all of these great things that you have beyond your looks. So I think this brings on a really great conversation, and it may also give you a different thought process when it comes to this, because men finding you attractive off first glance is not always truly beneficial to you as a woman. Sometimes it's men seeing you and they lust after you, and the only thing that they truly desire from you is your body. And that's not valuable. That man doesn't see your worth. That man does not see your value at all. They see what you can do for them immediately when they are physically attracted to you or sexually attracted to you. They're always thinking about, what can this woman do for me in these areas that serve me? But when a man doesn't find you physically attractive up front, and there's something else about you that really pulls him in, that's more real to me. And I feel like that's also more valuable. And this is a hot take, because a lot of women feel like if a man doesn't see you as the most beautiful woman in the world, day one, even when he doesn't even know you like that, that he doesn't love me. And remember, when I said earlier, when I was in the coffee shop and I was like overhearing these two women talk about this Arthur, and she was saying that men, they desire respect and women desire love. So are you saying that because he didn't see you as the most beautiful girl in the world off at first glance, that that's not love? Maybe not in a movie, maybe not in a fairy tale, but in real life, I feel like it's better to grow into a connection. I think it's also better to grow into a friendship. I also think it's better to grow into real connections than to meet people off chemistry, lust. We went to the same school. We met here at this job. I feel like growth in relationships is way more valuable than, oh, I mean, I like what you got on, girl. Like, I think you're cute. Or, girl, well, we met at the same job. These relationships are not lasting. Or we have similar amount of followers on social media. These relationships are not lasting. So the whole purpose of me talking about this is, can we rewire how we think about building relationships with people? That it may actually take time. It may actually take getting to know a person beyond their physical appearance. It's just something to think about. Now, I think the biggest thing here is the potential has to be there, right? The potential to be attracted to someone has to be there. But again, I listed off some things like outlook on life, love language, emotional support. Treatment is probably the biggest. Treatment is huge. Because one thing that I can also say when we have this conversation, a lot of times when we create our types, like we have our types in our mind or in our head about what we find to be attractive, it comes from a very traumatic place. Like it's built on trauma. Sometimes your type is literally built on trauma. It's built on neglect. It's built on you being abandoned emotionally or physically. It's built off of a false identity that you carry within yourself because of the things that you've gone through. So when you're introduced to a person that's healthy for you, that person not going to be your type. That person is not going to be your type at all. So let's think about this. Like, let's really, really think about this, because surface level, oh, he doesn't love you. He doesn't love you. But if you go a little deeper, I'm going to ask you, how does he treat you? How does he care about you? How does he support you? Is he there for you emotionally? Because meeting somebody and saying, oh, I wasn't all that attractive, that don't mean nothing to me. It really comes down to how that man treats you. Is he consistent in how he treats you? Does his words match his actions? Because all of that matters more than if he saw you attractive on day one. And then how many men have seen you attractive on day one? The chemistry was amazing on day one. Like, let's really get into it. The chemistry was amazing on day one. The attraction was there on day one. The sexual tension was there on day one. But what about day 30? Was it still the same? Day 60? Day 90? 6 months? A year? Ladies, do you see what I'm talking about? Do you see what I'm talking about now? And it's so crazy because women think that's love. Oh, he loves me because he was attracted to me on day one. He's so in love with me. Ain't nowhere to be found in 90 days. Nowhere in sight. Nowhere in sight. So let's really talk about it. This is a great topic, and I'm glad we're having this conversation, because All About Love by Bell Hooks, she talks about this. You should really read it. It's a great book. She talks about this. So, ladies, it seems like we're a little confused on this topic. And there's a double standard on our side, too. There is a double standard. I just don't like how some of the men are going about highlighting our double standard, like calling us out our name. That's just crazy to me. I can't even take you serious. But I do see the ones, probably this man right here.
Oh, some of you ain't know, I've been married for the...
I see exactly where he's coming from. I felt like he did it in a very creative, respectable way. So I get it. The other one, sir, please go to hell. Please go to hell. Okay, let's listen to this woman here because she ended up getting dragged in our comment section for what she had to say.
I was watching some videos and hearing about people complaining about the lady that was talking about how she wasn't attracted to her husband. I wasn't attracted to my husband when I first met him. I don't understand what the problem is. I think those make the best relationships. My husband would tell you he wasn't attracted to me when he first met me. And to be honest, it's also a good conversation starter for like when you're around different couples. I mean, oh, how'd you guys meet? Oh, I didn't like him and he didn't like me. I wasn't attracted to him. I wasn't attracted to him because what I normally would have went for was somebody that was 6'4", you know what I'm saying, taller, dressed a little differently, drove a different car. You know, God sent me exactly what I was not looking for. And that just goes to show that a lot of the people that are out here looking for their types and can't find them just are never going to be happy or in love.
Ooh.
Because I literally looked past him. I thought he was all that. Or he had a short man complex. Because my husband is 5'9". He said. Okay? Because I felt like the guys that I was dating had to be about 6'1". Because if he was 6 feet, he was really...
I gotta stop her though. I gotta ask y'all a question. Do you think your type is what God is gonna send you in a man? Oh my God, that's what she just said. Do you think your type is what God has for you? Oh my God, I never thought about it like that. Ooh. Because, I don't know. Like, probably not. Probably, I would say no. Absolutely not. I don't think so.
5'11". You know what I'm saying? You're going to add a little height to you. Anyway, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Of saying that I was not attracted to him. Because he was not attracted to me. Talking about I didn't smile. Well, you have a cardio kickboxing class. I'm not about to be smiling while I punch the bag. That's just not what I'm doing. I'm in here to work out and get on. And not hear about your stories. Anyways, we end up falling in love.
This is very interesting. But see, a lot of women have that default setting that God would send them their type. They have that default setting in their mind.
Okay, this is a continuation.
Okay, so she's responding to a comment. She said, it sounds like settling. Ladies, y'all got to get over that. I got to be real with you about settling. At some point you do. You have to settle down. You have to choose at some point. Okay? Now, depending on how you settle down, will determine your self-respect, self-love, etc., etc. But yeah, at some point you have to settle. Or otherwise you're just going to be single. Ain't nothing wrong with being single, but the people who are single, we're not settling because we're single. But once you make a choice, you are settling. Like that. That's just what it is. You're choosing to settle down. That is what you're choosing to do. Now, what are you settling for is what you should be focusing on. Are you settling for things out of desperation? Are you settling for things because you lack self-respect? Are you settling for things because you feel that this is the best that you're going to get and it's not the best situation for you? Let's really think about it. But everyone settles. Man, woman, everyone settles. It's all about what you're settling for, who you're settling with. But everyone settles. Why else would you force? Okay, and then the comment also says, why else would you force yourself to like someone when you're not attracted? I didn't get that she forced herself. It kind of sounds like she fell for him and it was unexpected. it probably caught her off guard.
From my last video. First of all, I would like to say that the reason why the title says I wasn't attracted to my husband is because I was talking about another lady's video. Okay? So that's why I named it that title. Even though I was not attracted to my husband when I first met him, does not mean I didn't find him attractive, like cute or whatever. I just didn't find him thinking he was all that attractive. Like, I think some people just either listen to half of the video or listen and don't really understand. And if you don't really understand,
girl, men, somebody said in the chat, CC, I'm gonna have to agree with you on this. Men settle all the time. Men settle all the time. Men settle and then will be miserable with the woman that they settle with. Men settle all the time. That's delusional to think that men don't settle. Men definitely settle. Men settle after the woman that they really want. She got away because she wasn't willing to put up with his bullshit. So he had to go out and find her replacement. Men settle all the time. They really do. They really, really do. Men settle all the time. I do not agree with that at all. I've seen men do it. Men settle when they start to hit a certain age. Men settle when they want to have kids, and they settle with whatever woman's around at that time. Men settle all the time. I feel like men settle more than women do. And that's a hot take. Men settle when it logically makes sense. I feel like women get trapped. Y'all get impregnated and then y'all end up settling. But men, they settle all the time. I feel like it's more logical for them, and it's the reason why they settle more than we do. But we tend to be more emotional, so we settle through our emotions. They settle through their logic. We just settle differently, but we both settle. We do. We settle.
understand, that means this is not for you. If you know, you know. And a lot of people were like, oh, that's not what old girl was saying. She basically was bashing her man, da-da-da. Listen, when you're secure in your relationship, marriage, you say whatever, right? Me and my husband,
the baby in the back, is she okay?
we are so secure. I can get on here and say I was not attracted to him when we first met. We literally tell everybody that. If you know us, then you know, right? He wasn't attracted to me. That does not mean he wasn't attracted to me like my looks. He just didn't like how maybe I acted or something. Like, there's something that I did or whatever, like you just like, First of all, everybody has a type. A lot of people that have comments on here on my last video, maybe you just don't know how to be honest. Or maybe you living in a lie. Let's just be real. Or maybe you can't take when some people are just being honest. Some people don't have no shame, and some people don't feel like they need to hide. Now, I did hear like somebody else say, well, maybe it's because she meant, like she had said, he was dark and rough looking. In my opinion, okay. Don't act like when you was in high school and or now, you like, oh, I only like light skin, I only like dark skin, I only date this, I only date this, I only date tall, I don't date short, I don't date chubby, I don't date this, I don't date outside my race.
Be so for real, y'all. We talking about B2K era, we talking about B5 era. Come on now. Can we be honest about that? And at the time, they were pushing those artists on us. They were pushing colorism on us as well. It's just facts. And then I'm trying to think, when the dark chocolate men start coming into, probably around the time I entered college. By the time college came around, then the chocolate men was in. But when we was like teeny boppers, when we was like, let's not forget about B5, and come on now, around that age, it's just, I understood where she was coming from. I understood. And clearly she has grown considering who she's married to now. And I'm pretty sure her outlook has changed. My outlook has changed. I mean, come on.
I don't understand what the problem is. Everybody's like that. Oh, okay, well, I don't really like guys that have braids. I don't like guys that have dreads. I only date guys that have fades. I only date guys that wear red hats.
Mocha, reverse that. So, because when you say, so liking light-skinned men is colorism. So is liking light-skinned women colorism? Because it's the same thing. We're talking about the behavior and the thought process and the mentality when you say things like that. So you let me know. Is that colorism? Let me ask the chat. Do you think it's colorism to just like one skin complexion? Is that what colorism is to you? Regardless of who's doing it, who's on the receiving end of it, do you think that it's colorism? It's just a question.
Why is y'all acting like you guys don't do that? Like, it's honestly pissing me off. Because somebody said, oh, I'm scared to have this love. The love that I'm sitting here saying that I'm happily married now, but I wasn't checking for him because the me was checking for somebody that was like this. I'm not sitting here saying tall men are cheaters.
Somebody said yes.
I'm just saying that that's what I was used to. And God is going to make you uncomfortable and put you in an uncomfortable situation to get where you're supposed to be. And I was uncomfortable because that's somebody that I would not have looked at. I would have looked past, and then I would have passed my blessing. I'm only explaining this because y'all sound dumb. You guys sound dumb. And maybe, you're just not secure and you're and within yourself.
And that's what this all comes down to. That's what this really all comes down to. It comes down to if you're truly secure within yourself. You're not going to care if the man found you attractive off the first day. If you are someone that's insecure about your looks, that's going to make or break how you are receptive to him being honest with you about that. Because that's what it really comes down to. That's why a lot of women get triggered when they hear men say that. But then he can list off all of the value that he saw in her that actually made her more physically attractive. And women will just not even care to listen to that at all. They don't want to hear that. Because in the movies, guy meets girl, girl meets guy, physical attraction was the first thing. And then that's it. In real life, life is way more complex, and there's when we talk about attraction, I mean, there's so many things that you have to consider outside of just the physical. So it's crazy. But honestly, depending on how secure you are within yourself, that's going to determine whether or not this is acceptable to you. Seriously.
This is a continuation. And then I'm like, and you're probably the main one that's not happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just piggybacking off of her video, and I felt like nothing was wrong with it. Because I think we all have a story. We all have a story on how we even got to this relationship. And when you're secure in yourself, you don't care what anybody thinks. Like, y'all make me sick when not understanding. Y'all also make me sick when not listening or trying to hear. Y'all just get on there and start judging.
Well, that's the internet. Okay, let me continue. Let me see. I think it's this one. And again, back to the treatment, right? Like, honestly, when it comes down to this conversation with me, it's about how the person treats you. This is how she treats her husband, though.
Baby, you know how it go. They say a man that don't work don't eat. Well, I be good God diggity damn if my man don't eat, because he be working his ass off. That's why I be, what they say, cook, and clean, wash everything, suck that dick, and them balls too. You better write that check, paying off. Yes, Lord, thank you, God.
Let me continue. That's how she be feeding the man. That's probably all he want anyway. She be feeding the man. So let me continue.
that lady's video about not being attracted to her husband when she first met him, and I think her point went over a lot of you guys' heads. You guys missed her point because of the first 5 seconds of her video, and I have a completely different perspective. A lot of us type is literally just what people look like on the outside. A lot of us are single and wondering 7 situationships in 1 year, and it's literally because your type is what a man looks like or what a woman looks like. I like tall, dark, and handsome men, but a lot of these tall, dark, and handsome men that you like are also very self-centered and don't want to marry you. Her point was sometimes you need to look beyond just what someone looks like and actually see a person for who they are, and you will recognize that your type should also include the qualities that a person has. Well, I like a man that make me laugh. Girl, you are 30. Pick something else. You guys miss out on a good person because they don't come in the package that you expect them to be. I'm trying to tell you guys that you need to look beyond just the physical of a person, because a lot of times the man that you might think, oh, I don't want that person, could be the man who would move mountains for you. I'm just saying.
Well. She's speaking facts. She is speaking facts. This woman had a different perspective. Hold on.
I guarantee you there are no men that are dating or married to women that they don't find attractive. So this conversation around like, oh, the man that's for you might not be the man that you're attracted to, absolutely insane. This is ugly man propaganda. Do not fall for it.
Didn't Cher tell y'all that the most attractive guy is not going to be the provider? Did she tell y'all that? But then, didn't you see the mortgage prank when the girls was pranking their husbands? You know, the women that don't have to pay their mortgage. They don't have to go half in on the mortgage. Did you see how those men looked? Did y'all see how those men looked? They were wide range, from different races, different heights. Some had beards, some did not. Some were tall, some were short, some were average in height. So this is why I've been saying lately that women are confusing me. Like, women are confused by the day. Like, women are very confusing to me, because I'm like, I really think it comes down to what you prioritize. Because if it's just looks, is not like, looks don't even pay the bills. Looks don't do nothing for you for real. So I guess I have some questions for y'all towards the end. Just hold on. Let me get through the rest of these videos.
The I'm not attracted to my husband video really isn't that shocking when you just consider that there are women out here who will give their bodies to complete strangers for money. So if a woman can do that, certainly she can marry a man she's not attracted to for stability. That don't really seem that far-fetched to me.
That's crazy. Okay, let me... Hold on, what's this one? Is it this one?
Wait. Okay, so I've been seeing this a lot with Clarence.
Let me go back. I'm sorry, y'all. Wrong video. Okay, this is the last one, because she made a great point.
Am I the only one that really don't find it wrong with the woman that says she wasn't attracted to her husband and how you should give a chance to the man that you're not attracted to? Because sometimes we're attracted to our trauma. Like, sometimes we're attracted to narcissistic, abusive beings because that's all we know. Like, sometimes you really do gotta go against what you're attracted to. It really don't got nothing to do with the physical for me. It's more so the personality, because I'm personally attracted to unemotionally available men. So I never go for the one that likes me more than I like him. But now I know that that's exactly what I need to go for, because the other way around ain't working out. But I didn't know that until I knew myself. So sometimes you really do have to go for what you're not attracted to, because what you're attracted to ain't working out for you. And you might just be attracted to that because of your own childhood trauma. So she's not 100% wrong. I know a lot of people chewing her up, but like, I kind of agree with her. Like, I need to go for what I'm not attracted to. I need somebody that loves me more than I love them. Because I got my own trauma and issues.
So I want to ask the chat some questions. First and foremost, do you really think that you can have a long-lasting relationship if you meet someone and you don't find them physically attractive up front? That's the first question I want to ask you. Also, I also want to ask the ladies in the chat that with this whole role reversal, right? Is it opening up your eyes to how some men settle for women? That's what I want to know too. How some men will pick a woman not because of her looks, but because of the other things about her that he sees as valuable that makes her more attractive. Do you think that that is something that can exist? Because we see it can exist for us as women, but we don't believe that it could exist for men. We only believe that it can exist for us. Because we value being loved, they value being respected. And maybe he chose this woman or he settled with this woman because men prioritize respect. So he chose this woman because of the respect that she gives him. And then we want to be loved, so we don't choose our type. We go for the man that actually loves us. To me, it's the same thing. It's just men and women are different. We're very similar. We're different. We operate differently. We think differently. We prioritize things differently as well. And again, when I say this, I'm not talking about the men that are insecure. I'm not talking about the men that struggle with self-hatred issues. Those men will treat you bad, point blank, period. But there are other men out here that will not find you physically attractive up front, and they can still treat you very well because they see your worth and your value beyond your looks. And like I said, I feel like that's way more valuable than a man seeing you first glance, starts to lust, approaches you, sees there's chemistry there, and then doesn't see your worth or your value at all. They only saw your body. They only saw the sexual tension and energy exchange. That was it. They didn't see anything beyond that. And again, we've had more experiences like that and the relationship not even last 90 days than the other way around. So it's interesting. Are there any stories out here where a man didn't see you physically attractive up front, but then he grew into attraction with you later because he saw your worth and your value, and the relationship didn't last 90 days? The relationship didn't last a year? The relationship didn't last 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? Are there any stories out there? I haven't. I actually have not seen them. Whenever I hear these dating stories on social media, it always started off as first glance, I found her to be attractive. Lust, chemistry, sexual tension, it was there. The relationship ain't even last a year. So it gives you something to think about. Also, do you think that when we talk about the outlook on life, similarities, like other things that you may find compatible in a person, do you think that you can grow into attraction with someone? So for me personally, I can grow into attraction with people through intellect, their view on life, their take on life, their mindsets. I think that's huge. Do they self-educate themselves? That's huge. Their treatment, their belief system, their treatment towards me, that's huge. Do you think that you can grow into attraction with someone? It just may take more time. It may take patience. It may take you going through this awkward phase within this connection, but you're willing to work through it because you see value in them in other areas. It's something to think about. It's a little tone down to the political aspect of preferences, desirability, politics, right. That's very true. That's very true. That's very true. And I believe that it's going to come down to discernment. It's going to come down to discernment. But like I said, men who typically carry these issues, like desirability politics, anti-black racism, delusion, projected gender roles, lust, etc., 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 they tend to treat you bad. They tend to treat you like shit. So again, the number one thing that I said, please highlight this before you comment. Highlight the fact that if this man treats you well and he did not see you physically attractive up front, that to me makes or breaks that to me makes or breaks this whole conversation. That to me makes or breaks whether or not he's wrong or not. Because again, typically when it is those issues that you listed, 7, the man will always treat you like shit. We have seen these men literally leave the community and treat other women like shit. They're going to treat you like shit. This is why when I see other women and I be like, you're going to get treated like shit. He doesn't love himself. How can he love you? How can he love his children that he's creating with you? He can't. He can't pull it from himself. How can he give it to you? So typically those special situations, you're going to get treated like shit. But I have seen it where men grew into an attraction with the woman and he treats her so well. He provides for her. He treats her very well. So again, I'm interested in seeing what your comments are going to be. So please comment down below. Hopefully I sparked a different perspective. And again, the things that I don't agree with when it comes to this conversation is blasting your partner on social media. I'm tired of seeing it because, again, men prioritize respect when it comes to romance and romantic connections, and women prioritize love. And how we go about prioritizing these things will, to me, when it comes to this whole discourse on social media, I don't care if it's a man or a woman doing it, to blast your spouse on social media, it's just, do you really love that person? Because are you considering their feelings? Are you considering the public and the comments and the things that they will say about your spouse or your relationship or your marriage? Or, you know, if you really do have this sacred relationship, this sacred thing, like, oh, you didn't find them physically attracted at first, but now you're so in love with them. It's like, why would you want people to make, like, why do you want the internet to make that a known thing when it comes to your marriage or your relationship? Like, I wouldn't want that. I would want how I love my partner to be at the forefront publicly beyond anything before we talk about, well, I didn't really like this and I didn't really like that. And, you know, his hairline was weird, or I wouldn't want people to look at my relationship and just think all of those horrible things about my partner. Like, I would want them to look at my partner and think nothing but great things publicly, regardless of how I feel. I think people need to understand that how you feel and your feelings don't always need to be expressed on social media. Like, sometimes you need to vent to yourself, talk about it in the shower, express it there. You could talk to a therapist, express it there, maybe vent to a friend that you trust. But to come online and blast your partner, y'all, that really got to stop. I don't care who's really doing it. It's just not a good look publicly. You don't want people to look at you in your relationship and that's all they know about your relationship, because typically people are going to focus on the negative. They're not going to focus on the positive. Because I went to this girl's her TikTok, and he's really good with the kids, like father-daughter dances. He really does show up for her children as well. But it's like, nobody's going to focus on that when it comes to her relationship. People are going to focus on the fact that she didn't find this man to be attractive, and that she decided to give in to this man who was chasing her because he could provide for her. That's what people are going to remember. People are not going to remember how amazing of a man he is. People are going to remember that she was not attracted to him. And that's it when it comes to their relationship. So y'all let me know what you think. Please give this video a thumbs up. I'm going to try to come back on here and do the Gym Crush video. I'm going to try to do that after 3 o'clock. So if you're interested, make sure you turn on your post notifications. I don't think the post notifications are working. So you may have to click the bell like, I don't know if you have to unsubscribe, resubscribe, or turn off the notification bell, then turn it back on. You may have to try that because I don't know why the notification bell is not working. But thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you later. Okay.